Hello and welcome to Rough Cut Film Review. I'm going to do a very quick review now of Halo Forward Until Dawn. So here we go. So it's Halo, the massive video game franchise, generates God knows how much money. If we think back to He-Man cartoons, which I very much liked as a child, they were actually created as a sales technique to sell toys. So it's probably worth mentioning at this point, this is nothing new. They're creating an entirely new entertainment and an entirely new creative piece of work to help sell something else. So this is nothing new, but there we go. So I know that there's the games and as an Xbox owner myself, I was very keen on Halo 1 and 2, and the multiplayer was fun for 3. I understand they've gone on, although I've lost interest. So there's lots of stuff, and if we remember in He-Man, they introduced loads of characters in each episode so that you'd have to buy more toys, So the same sort of sentiment goes into Halo, where, new products, etc., sell stuff. So now let's look at this as a creative piece of work. So the idea behind this is there's some cadets that are, part of the Earth Defence Force types. They're all from wealthy, privileged backgrounds and families. They are very broad strokes, so they're largely stereotyped characters. They're young, sexy, vivacious people. One of them likes duty more than the others. One of them's a bit more of a joker. You can see it coming a mile off. Basically, they're training. They're a bit rubbish, but they're training and, to be, soldiers. And what's interesting about this, in as much, well, I don't know if interesting is the right word really, but this is very much made. You can see the way it's aimed. I wonder how many focus groups they had for this film. It's aimed at the psyche of the sort of teens that might play Halo. So it's very much aimed at an American male, aged between approximately 12 and 40, something like that. And you can see it, and not a particularly mature one. So, as we see, in the film, the cadets, they play capture the flag and stuff like this. There's an awful lot in there from, if you remember the really good Paul Van Hoven film, Starship Troopers. That was really good. There's loads of stuff. It's borrowed incredibly freely from there. There's stuff from Aliens. It's got all the training stuff. And then, toward the end, it just turns into a horror film, where the training camp itself is attacked by baddies. If you play the games, you know exactly who it is. The CGI looks terrible. It's all, the whole film looks really muddy and cheap and just sort of B-movie-esque. The acting's pretty poor almost universally through, it just basically isn't very good. The direction is at best okay, but everything looks really cheap. Toward the end, spoiler alert, we get to see the tacky plastic uniform of the Master Chief, who comes in, the hero from the Halo games themselves, and fights some Covenant people that attack. So it looks. I'll tell you what it looks like. I don't know if you've seen the straight to DVD sequels to Starship Troopers, which didn't involve Paul Van Hoven. That this looks an awful lot like that. So not even the original Starship Troopers, because the money isn't here. They explain to the kids tactics and honor and stuff like this, and it's all very boring. So fundamentally, if you want to play Halo 4, buy Halo 4 and enjoy it. I don't know, I suspect that a lot of people that like playing Halo might enjoy this film and get something out of it, where you get to see the Master Chief in a film, if indeed it is a film quality. However, it is what it is. It's a sales technique. It doesn't offer anything new or interesting into the canon, into the genre, into the franchise. So best not to bother. And if you don't like Halo, no interest in Halo, but definitely don't bother watching this film, because it's not a very good film. That's all.